So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, Gujarat State Innovation Council, Gujarat Council on Science and Technology, Gujarat Innovation Society, and all the supporting partners and well-wishers, we extend a very, very warm welcome to each one of you who are present as we celebrate the most important cornerstone of any business and being. Innovation, they say, is going to take us to the next century, and hence the theme of the conference itself is very, very path-breaking. The torchbearers of 21st century is what innovation is going to be all about. And this gathering itself is the most distinguished gathering with so many global influencers and thought leaders gracing the occasion that we are all eagerly waiting to hear them. To take this exciting day forward, I will quickly introduce myself. My name is Archana, and I'm part of the editorial team of Network 18, that's part of the CNBC TV 18, and I'll be anchoring this two-day international symposium. As Bill Gates rightly said, that never before in the history has innovation offered promise so much to so many in such a little time. India is increasingly become a top global innovator for high-tech products and services. Still, the country is underperforming relative to its innovative potential, with direct implications for long-term industrial competitiveness and economic growth. So India can maximize its I potential, which is innovation potential, through a consensus building process that includes a task force of Indian policymakers, which we have today, working with business and social leaders, again which we have today in this gathering, who would be in the best position to set priorities among the recommendations and develop an appropriate sequencing of activities. And the timing is right, and so is the forum, and so is the podium. It is the glory, with the son of the soil, Mr. Narendra Modi himself leading India to the glory, it is also the right time for India to climb up that innovation ladder away from our most accepted norm, which is a cost-effective manufacturing hub, to a value-related, innovation-based manufacturing hub. These 2 days are ripe with potential and packed with excitement. We have some very distinguished speakers who will share their thoughts and action on innovation. To initiate the proceedings, may I welcome on stage, and I want each one of you to really clap hard because they will be really making a lot of sense and adding a lot of value to our business. Shri Y.S. Chaudhary, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology and Earth Science, Government of India. Sir, can we please have you on this stage? And requesting Mr. Gaurang Shah, Joint Secretary IT DST, Government of Gujarat, to welcome him with the flowers, please. Can we have a bigger round of applause for our Minister, Honorable Minister? And can we have the flowers, please? Then we will have Mr. Chris Alexander, Honorable Minister for Citizenship and Immigration, Canada. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Alexander as he takes the stage? Welcome, Mr. Alexander. May I now call Shri Govindbhai Patel, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat. Shri Patel, can I request you to come on stage? I think we can do better with clapping for the honorable ministers, please. I will now like to call upon Mr. Tapan Ray. He is IAS Additional Secretary, Department of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Can we have Mr. Tapan Ray on the stage, please? I'd like to now call upon Mr. S.J. Haider. He is IAS Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat. Can we have Mr. Haider? A huge round of applause for Mr. Haider. And finally, can we have Mr. A.K. Saxena? He is IAF Mission Director, Gujarat State Biotechnology Mission. Mr. Saxena, can we have you on the stage, please? A huge round of applause for our first set of dignitaries, as the CM will be joining us shortly. Can I now request Mr. Gaurang Shah, Joint Secretary IT DST, Government of Gujarat, to felicitate Mr. Chaudhary, please? So, request the dignitaries to be seated, please. Okay, so Mr. Sahu, can I request you to please come and felicitate Mr. Chaudhary. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now I will request Mr. S.J. Haider, Secretary, DST Government of Gujarat, to felicitate Mr. Chris Alexander. I think we need to have a value chain here so that we have a better sequencing. A round of applause, please. Then can I request Mr. Subodh Soni, Joint Director, Joint Secretary, Biotechnology, DST, Government of Gujarat, to felicitate Mr. Govind Bhai Patel, please. Ladies and gentlemen, clapping, please. Then I will like to invite Mr. Sanjay Garden Head, SEMT, DST, Government of Gujarat, to felicitate Mr. Tapan Ray, please. And Mr. Narottam Sahu, Advisor, Gujarat Council on Science and Technology, to felicitate Mr. Haider, please. And Mr. Sunil Shah, can I invite Mr. Sunil Shah, Chairman GIS, to felicitate Mr. Saxena, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, Mr. Shah. A round of applause for two people who have really worked hard to make this event a very, very successful one. A round of applause for Mr. Saxena and Mr. Shah. Thank you, Mr. Shah. So for most people, the word innovation evokes images of inventors, the new technologies and new products. Society would not be what it is today without the progressive development of science and technology. The stunning advances in various fields of science and technology have had a profound impact on our lives in almost every sphere of life. These advances have been driven by an ever-growing volume of exciting innovations which later gets transformed into new products or processes. These in turn shower vast economic and social rewards on those nations that have the will and the vision to make science and technology the cornerstones of their development. Through the Gujarat State Innovation Council, the Government of Gujarat intends to meaningfully pursue the innovation agenda by building upon rich legacy of state and in conformity with the efforts of developing an India model for innovation. May I now request Honorable Shri Govind Bhai Patel ji, Minister of State for Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, to share his views. Sir.
Respected guest of honor, Sri Y.S. Chaudhary ji, Honorable Union Minister of State for Science and Technology and Earth Science. Respected guest of honor, Chris Alexander, Honorable Minister for Citizenship and Immigration, Canada. Dear Sri Tapan Rai, Additional Secretary, Department of Electronics and IT, Government of India. Dear Sri S.J. Haider, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat. Dignitaries and all the members of dais, invited guests and speakers, invited guests, members for media and all innovators across the globe. A very good morning to all of you. Today on the auspicious occasion of 153 birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, I wish you with a very thought-provoking message. All power and creativity is within. You can do anything and everything. I am absolutely delighted to be here today among with wonderful gathering of scholars. I am happy that the Department of Science and Technology with its Gujarat Council on Science and Technology and Gujarat State Innovation Council has organized with wonderful seminar on innovation, which is
Welcome to
need
CLIVE,
of our
Coastal Impacts Visualization Environment. Prince Edward Island
innovation is not merely invention, but a new thought process that sparks an idea to take concrete form and shape as a product, service, or concept as may be the case. Gujarat State has taken lead in terms of innovations by setting up Gujarat State Innovation Council. We want to propagate the culture of innovation, and for this, we want to involve all the process from school to college to accountability, industry, other institutions, and governance in the center. Some of the innovative steps taken by Gujarat government have notably been via smart governance. Rural development, tribal and remote areas of Gujarat, Udant livelihood pods, e-waste collection, online internal practical marks, capturing mineral administration, and e-governance using ICT, online MSME registration and technology processing, investor support system, etc. Through this innovation symposium, we welcome, invite one all who wish to encourage innovation. Indigenous efforts and initiative ideas, innovations need proper guidance, nurture and support, which our government is actively involved in. It is time to allow free exchange of thoughts and ideas. I look forward to the opportunity provided by this World Innovation Symposium. Experts and professionals from diverse areas presents a rare confluence of experience, knowledge and wisdom that we young minds and all present take back the spark of inspiration. Let us ignite our minds and hearts. Let us think with innovative mindset. Let us develop the culture of innovation for better future, better society, better nation. Our Honorable Chief Minister, the new mantra, spark innovation and enrich life, says it all. Let us join with movement of development. I once again welcome all of the dignitaries and delegates through our vibrant Gujarat and wish the program the grand success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And rightly said that it is now time to ignite and invoke innovation, and not only thoughts and words, but in action. And taking this cue from what the Honorable Minister just said, I think it is also the time for us, human beings are known to understand and soak in from the audiovisual rather than and by way of stories. So it is rightly said that human brain are wired to learn from listening from stories which include images and sound. To soak in the atmosphere of innovation, we have a very special film on innovation, which we are just about to showcase you. Can we have the AV, please? And can I request the sound console to dim the lights?
What
so
does
that
it
we can
take
have
for a
it
state to become the growth engine of a nation? Investments worth millions of dollars, thousands of laborers, industrialists, technicians and mechanics, hundreds of acres of land, a number of schools and institutes? Yes, and it takes much more. But above all, it takes a small idea to bring about the revolution. And this small, sparkling idea is called innovation. Innovation that brings ideas to the table and delivers solutions to the masses. Issue: public's woes don't reach the government. Innovation Swagat online program. A unique program making everyone accountable and answerable. A live video conference among the grievance applicants, the head of the involved department, and most importantly, the Chief Minister of the state. No mediator, no formalities, direct grievance redressal. Result: a fair and acceptable solution on the same day. No applicant has ever left without any firm reply to his grievance. Innovation that emphasizes not just on finding new ways, but on delivering tangible results as well. Issue: every year, the government takes many new initiatives to promote girl-child education. Though they start successfully, yet they do not achieve the desired objective. Innovation Kanya Kelavni Mahotsav and Shala Praveshotsav. The state's chief minister, along with the council of ministers and top officials, go from village to village and persuade parents to enroll their child in schools. Result: 100% enrollment, lower school dropout rate and higher literacy rate. Innovation that can minimize the governance and directly connect with the people. Issue: citizens living in villages had to travel miles for small documents like birth certificates and land records. Innovation E-Gram Vishwagram. Same village panchayat office. Just one statewide area network connecting all the 18,000 villages with internet services. Result: several IT-enabled citizen-centric services available right at their doorsteps. Innovation that goes beyond the confines of formal R&D. Issue: lakhs of women around the state willing to earn their own livelihood and become independent, but no formal framework to help them. Innovation Mission Mangalam. Creation of self-help group. A little training and a little financial assistance. Result: today, lakhs of women in Gujarat are doing business worth crores of rupees and are earning their livelihood with respect. Parallelly, Gujarat has always promoted innovation and science, even among students. And when you sum it all up, you will know that here in Gujarat, innovation is believed to be a tool which can foster dynamic solutions, not only to overcome challenges faced by the society, but also to explore new possibilities for a brighter tomorrow. Which is what Gujarat has aimed for. Led by a visionary leader with innovative ideas, vision and an unwavering commitment, Gujarat has delivered rapid results. And building upon the rich legacy of the state, Gujarat will continue to do so in this decade of innovation, under the able leadership of its first woman Chief Minister, Srimati Anandiben Patel, who has given the vision of Gatisheel Gujarat, with an objective to open new horizons of innovation in all the directions. Gujarat has constituted the Gujarat State Innovation Council. Because Gujarat knows it takes more than a group of people discussing ideas to innovate. It takes an institutional mechanism solely dedicated to encouraging innovation. It takes a committed team to create a model of an inclusive innovation. It takes a framework which will further the state's efforts in promoting innovation across all sectors. Established under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, Gujarat State Innovation Council is Gujarat's pioneering step towards preparing a roadmap for Innovation 2020. Towards making Gujarat a leading state in promoting innovation and towards turning ideas into success stories. Let's make ideas work.
So very, very well said. Let's make ideas work. And I think that is what, in brief, the big message that has to come out from this stage and this forum, that let's make our ideas work. And the stage gets bigger and better, and so does the forum. Can I request a huge round of applause for Honorable Minister, Mr. Nanubhai Banayev, and can I request Mr. Gaurang Shah to felicitate him with a token of our appreciation. A round of applause for Mr. Banayev, please, Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir. So taking the summit forward, innovation is a process, like we just saw in the AV, innovation is a process through which economic and social values is extracted from knowledge through the generation, development, implementation of ideas to produce new or improved strategies, capabilities, products, services, or processes. Talking about innovation, Canadian companies innovate across all competitiveness with high emphasis on technology and products. Canada has been the forerunner, be it its initiative and thrust to attract and retain world's top research talent, or enable world-class research and technology development that leads to social, economical, environment, health benefit for Canada and supports private sector innovation and commercialization. In fact, under the big umbrella of innovation, we can pursue a possibility of innovations and ideas being exchanged between India and Canada with possibilities and more. We have today with us Mr. Chris Alexander, Honorable Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, Canada. We would be keen to know from you, sir, your thoughts on seeding and nurturing the innovation culture. Ladies and gentlemen, put a round of applause for Mr. Chris Alexander, Honorable Minister for Citizenship and Immigration. May we have you here on the podium, please.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Namaskar. Fantastic to be here. Yes.
Our Chief Minister might come anytime.
Sure.
Will continue.
Will do. Great. We will pause and welcome her when the Chief Minister arrives. Wonderful to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for the honor of being part of this session and for the hospitality that the state of Gujarat and India itself have shown to so many partners and visitors from around the world. I'm proud to be here on behalf of a very strong Canadian contingent of about 200 participants in Vibrant Gujarat this year. We have, some of them are here, including such luminaries as Adam, have I got it, Fanek, who is from the University of Prince Edward Island, part of that Nobel Prize winning team that did groundbreaking work on climate change. You'll be hearing from him. Yeah, round of applause for Adam. And Mark Wilson, the chief evangelist for BlackBerry, which is one of our torchbearers for innovation in the world as Canadians and really as a global asset in every respect. And there are many other Canadians here. But we're very conscious that here in Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad, we are in one of the hotbeds of innovation in the world today. And just reading, ministers, about your State Innovation Council, the Innovation Society of Gujarat, hearing about the number of institutions of higher learning that there are now in this state, well over 100, I think you're on your way to 200, just in the state of Gujarat. It's inspiring and indeed engrossing to hear about everything that is happening here in the private sector, in the public sector, and across the board to underpin and drive that next wave of innovation. Why is it so important to be having this discussion today? Because, as I think all of us as speakers yesterday were anxious to point out, in this world of threats, 21st century, variety of threats, but also of enormous opportunities, we have to innovate to be successful as societies. We have to innovate to drive those rising levels of prosperities for larger numbers of people. We have to innovate to come together as societies in support of a more stable world, a more successful world, because this is what human beings do and have always done. But with the higher levels of education that we now see around the world, especially in India, it's not just about having basic knowledge to drive prosperity, it's about having sophisticated forms of knowledge and continuous forms of learning embedded in our societies to ensure that we are all, from young people right up to those who've retired and are passing their wisdom on to others, continuing to innovate throughout our lives. That's the culture we're all seeking to have, and that certainly is the vision at the heart of India's and Canada's approach to innovation. And I'd just like to take a few minutes to talk about 3 themes that illustrate where Canada is going on this front. And the first one actually relates to immigration, because as I mentioned yesterday, we see our culture of immigration, our tradition of immigration to Canada as one of the drivers of innovation in Canada and one of the keys to our success, because we have always had large territories, small population, growing because of immigration, access to ideas from around the world, a unique juxtaposition of learning and backgrounds in Canada, in our universities, in our colleges, in our communities, thanks to immigration. And we as a government are doing our very best to harness that legacy to new purposes in the 20th century, to scale it up, to meet the challenge of innovation, and to use the human capital formation that immigration allows us to undertake to drive new forms of innovation, to force the partnerships of the 20th century that we know are so key to our country's success and to that of others. And that was my point yesterday in the opening session about connectivity. We want to see, for example, just to take one example, a much higher level, a much more substantive form of connectivity between Canada and India, despite the distances involved, despite the fact that there aren't direct flights from every major Canadian city to every major Indian city. We hope we'll get there through immigration, through larger flows of students in both directions, through much higher visitor volumes, tourist volumes. And this is really quite new and quite refreshing, because it was not so very long ago when the numbers were much more modest and the backlogs and complexity of immigration and travel were much greater. Today we have 10 visa application centers across India, including in Ahmedabad. We're giving out, most of the time, 10-year multiple entry visas to visitors coming to Canada. Canadian airlines are establishing direct links with India, as Indian airlines have had them for a longer period with Canada. And so we're seeing the number of Indians who are familiar with Canada and who are able to engage in those forms of partnership in our research institutions with our private sector growing by leaps and bounds, almost exponentially. And the anchor of this is the fact that we are one of the Western jurisdictions, the Western societies with the largest Indian population of Indian heritage. It is 1.2 million Canadians now who can trace some heritage to this country, and a much larger number to other parts of South Asia. We consider that a huge asset. And if you look at Canada's universities, colleges, research institutes, there is, I don't think anyone has mapped this out in detail, but there is a disproportionate representation among presidents of universities, leaders of research and labs, and higher education institutions of all kinds with their roots in this part of the world. That reflects very well on the culture of innovation that comes from India, and especially from Gujarat. So how are we trying to augment that with reforms that we've made over the past 10 years to our immigration system? First, the backlogs are almost gone. Secondly, the speed of service for those who are just visiting Canada is much greater. We have a CAN Plus system which really guarantees that service in 5 working days or less. For those who've been, who are part of an organization that has established relations to Canada, it can be 1 or 2 days. And as of January 1st, we launched a new immigration system called Express Entry, which is only online. Anyone interested in immigrating to Canada begins the process by building an online profile. And once they have succeeded against other candidates for immigration around the world, as so many Indians do, and have submitted their application, that application is processed within 6 months. So contrast that with the 7 or 8 year processing times we have, and we see our connectivity levels going up, which allows them to move more at the speed of business. Because for an Indian company that has needs, human resource needs in Canada, that can only be accommodated by people trained here, it's sometimes more attractive to have someone come as an immigrant, as a permanent resident for a stage of their career, than to come as a temporary worker. It certainly gives them access to many more Canadian services. And so we're trying to accommodate those short, medium, and long-term needs in our immigration system. But we're doing more than that. We have the first country in the world to have launched something called the Startup Visa for Entrepreneurs, which is essentially an invitation to those with an idea, usually young people, to start a new company, saying if they find a venture capital investor, if they find an angel investor, if they find an incubator in Canada who's willing to partner with them and ink a deal with them, we will give them permanent residence in Canada in only 6 months. We're the only country in the world that has that, and we brought our first startup entrepreneurs last year. On top of that, like most countries now, I think there are 30 or 40 who do immigration on a large scale. We have an immigrant entrepreneur program. We are recruiting, we have an investor immigrant program. We are recruiting investors, high net worth individuals, and offering them the chance to become permanent residents, also in 6 months, but with a difference. We will take their $2 million. We will take it on the basis of a higher net worth, $10 million, to make sure we're not taking their last pennies just to accommodate their immigration. But we will not put that money into a government fund or into bonds or into infrastructure. We're putting it into venture capital to drive the thickening and deepening of our venture capital markets that we know we need to support the startup culture that Canada increasingly has, wants to have for the future, to make sure that those startup entrepreneurs' ideas reach it to second and third stage financing and become the businesses of the future. So faster immigration, entrepreneurial culture, even in immigration, investor immigrant resources focused on venture capital. That's our way of driving immigration innovation through the immigration system. Let me just make 2 more points. This is part of a much larger agenda in Canada, led by the Government of Canada, but including all players in higher education, in the business community, that has immigration at its, that has innovation at its center. In government, we are seeking to deliver everything more efficiently. We now have Shared Services Canada, which tries to provide back office services, IT services for the whole government through one agency. Instead of having 35 departments with IT services, we have one big service provider, much more efficient. We are striving to be the top country in the G7, remain the top country in the G7 for the percentage of GDP that we spend on research and development through government-funded research, centers of excellence, Canada Research Chairs across the country, to make sure that we're not just a player, but the best player, attracting the best talent from around the world to make sure that these centers of excellence are attracting the students and then the businesses and the application of the discoveries that are made in these institutions to business that, of course, drive growth and prosperity. We are innovating on the global scene with India and many other partners to solve global challenges, meet global challenges. Climate change is one of them, but one that receives a very for obvious reasons, mentioned by Prime Minister Modi yesterday, very large-scale resources from Canada is maternal, newborn, and children's health, where we are partnering. And I see the Chief Minister has arrived. Welcome. Please.
Can we please welcome the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Srimati Anandiben Patel. A huge round of applause for the Chief Minister, please. Ma'am, a token of appreciation. Can I request Mr. Haider to present a token of appreciation? Can we have a round of applause as we present a token of our appreciation to Srimati Anandiben Patel? Thank you, ma'am. We'll just, sorry, Mr. Alexander, you can continue.
Thank you, and thank you again, Chief Minister, for hosting us. Great to be on this stage with you. And I'll just finish up with a few additional comments on our government's innovation agenda. I mentioned the imperative to fill out the venture capital space, to make sure there is adequate funding to bring the great ideas that entrepreneurs have to market. I was mentioning maternal, newborn, and children's health, a major initiative for our Prime Minister, for our government, where we've taken the lead in trying to mobilize the resources from all donor countries, but then backed by private sector philanthropy as well, to tackle two of the most important Millennium Development Goals related to maternal and children's health. And then there's the whole challenge of having a startup culture, having the ecosystems that you have in large measure here in Gujarat to support innovation, to support the small and medium-sized enterprises that inevitably drive innovation, and trying to have that culture across the board. We find that the livability, the quality of life in our cities, my hometown of Toronto or Vancouver, which is in such demand these days, Montreal, Calgary, and even smaller cities, is a huge drawing card for entrepreneurs, for innovators. They want to live in these cities, but they need to find incubators, accelerators, venture capital leaders, angel investors, the partners that will help them get to that next stage. And they also need to find the connectors, the professors, the experts in companies, in universities, who will link them to the researcher, maybe in a country around the world that they haven't heard of, but who will give them that essential partnership that allows their idea to become a groundbreaking innovation, leading to jobs, growth, and success. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, our vision for the future obviously doesn't stop with these policies. It is one of a connected world, one of a world where ideas flow more freely than ever before. That's why we're committed to such an ambitious free trade agreement. Canada-Europe, Canada-Korea, those have been achieved. On top of our North American free trade agreements, our agreements with Latin America, obviously Canada-India comprehensive economic partnership agreement is a very high priority for us and for all of our partners in India, we hope as well. As is the educational partnerships that are perhaps the richest vein of the Canada-India relationship over the long term, because we know that those partnerships will underpin trade investment on a scale that we haven't seen to date, as is this commitment that both India and Canada have to diversity, to the strong, deep forms of diversity that we know lend themselves to innovation, lend themselves to ensuring the kinds of prosperity that innovation brings. It is only by having a connected world, a multicultural world, a multilingual world, where ideas move quickly through all the channels that we are discussing this morning, that we can be sure that we're unlocking the promise of innovation and living up to our responsibility to be torchbearers for innovation in the 21st century. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. I think we'll quickly move to the next step because I'm sure the Honorable Chief Minister has a very tight schedule today. And ma'am, if I may request you to launch the Gujarat State Innovation Portal. It is in the laptop. If we can do it by the click of button. Mr. Chief Minister, if we can request you. This is the launch of the Gujarat State Innovation Portal. In the laptop, you have the home page, and you'll have to click on the button to officially inaugurate it. So as we see, can we have a huge round of applause for the portal, please? Because while innovations will happen, we will also have to make sure that the world stays connected and the innovations are spread across the world. So this is the home page of the portal, that is Gujarat State Innovation Portal. It is all positioned to create a lot of value, and this is the home page with the Chief Minister herself on the home page. So this is officially inaugurated. So a huge round of applause for the launch of the portal. Can I now request the Honorable Chief Minister to also inaugurate the AV film about the Center on IPR, which is going to be at JNLU. And so technology led with innovation is probably the theme of today, and as you see, this is again the home page of the Center on IPR. Intellectual property right is one of the biggest challenges as well as the opportunity that we are going to face as businesses. So, can we have, I think
Zero.
it is, yeah.
What crosses your mind when you think of zero? You might think of something that is valueless, unimportant, nothing. Zero is one of the many illustrious ideas that India has made. One that underscores our country's contribution to the world's development cycle. As the economies world over are moving towards innovation-driven knowledge economies, Gujarat, with its entrepreneurship tradition, realizes the potential of innovation. In regard to Gujarat and innovation, the state government is putting institutional mechanisms in place to provide necessary ecosystem for growth of innovation. It has constituted the Gujarat State Innovation Council and is according high significance to intellectual property rights. In view of the importance of IPR, Gujarat Council on Science and Technology, Gujcost, working under the aegis of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat is establishing a Center of Intellectual Property Rights at the Gujarat National Law University at Gandhinagar. The Center of Intellectual Property Rights at GNLU aims to facilitate the process of invention and innovation in Gujarat and the country, and support the national agenda of Make in India. The center shall strive to build networking with national and international reputed organizations to create a sound intellectual property regime. As inventions and innovations sprout like never before, ordinary people's extraordinary inventions get legal protection, and state provides fertile ground for ideas, innovation, technology and products. The center housed at Gujarat National Law University is committed to fulfilling the responsibilities. It is an attempt of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, to join the dots to bring the future innovators of the state and the country to the forefront of national and global platforms. Gujcost GNLU Center of IPR for Gati Sheel Gujarat and to realize potential of Make in India.
So that's the IPR the center that has been inaugurated just now, and I think a lot of values are being created today from this stage. Two important things. One is innovation and the portal, and the other is IPR. So the message that is happening or that is going aloud from here is please innovate, but make sure that you also register your intellectual property rights. And what is a summit without the MOUs? And I think This is the only one of the summits internationally and nationally that we have the MAUs, and the MAUs see the light of the day. As a next step to the inauguration by the hands of the Honorable Chief Minister, can I request all the MOUs, the companies who are in biotechnology, to come forward to exchange the MOUs, please? And as you settle down, I will brief the audience, I will inform the audience about the kind of MOUs and the investment that we have attracted in this 2015 edition of Vibrant Gujarat. So in the 7th edition of Vibrant Gujarat, we have total 60 investment intentions, and 6 strategic partnership MOUs have been received and approved, with the total investment committed of rupees 3,230 crores and likely employment opportunities of about 7,216 people. It includes 28 expansion plans, and please clap as they exchange the MOUs, because this handshake is going to take a lot of, going to create a lot of values for the industry and the people. It includes 28 expansion plans by existing companies. So this shows that companies who have established their base have confidence to diversify and invest more in the state. We have 8 new investments committed by national player, 3 companies from overseas technopreneurs, 6 new startups, biopreneurs, 9 diversification of conventional industries into biotechnology sector, 6 ventures by state-based biotech industry. We also have 41 who are in manufacturing area, 9 in research and development, 7 are in bioservice, and 3 in infrastructure segment. If I can request the companies, are we done? No. I think it's a second. So are we done? So if biotechnology companies are done, can I request all of you to please come on stage and have a photo op with our dignitaries, including our Honorable Chief Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the biotechnology companies. Can we request you to please? Yeah. All companies in biotechnologies who have signed the MOUs, can I request you to please come on stage for a photo op with the dignitaries? This side. I think it's going to be a challenge for the photographers to go ahead. So these are the companies who are in biotechnologies. This MOU will result in 3 new technologies in genomics of healthcare application, biorefinery development, biofuel from waste, new vaccine platform, tumor diagnostic therapies. And do we have the IT companies to come to sign and exchange the MOUs, please? Can I request the chosen IT companies? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the biotechnology companies. Do we have the IT companies signing the MOUs? Thank you, and all the best. Can we have the IT companies, have we signed it? Can we get into the next level, please? Request the dignitaries to be seated, please. I know. So the IT companies, do we have all the IT companies? I will quickly talk about the MOUs that are being signed by the IT companies. Department of Science and Technology has received 69 investment intentions of rupees 11,215 crore. Yeah, can I request everybody else to please be seated because there's a lot of chaos and we have to respect everybody's time and schedule. People with the camera, you are blocking the way of everybody who's seated there patiently. Yeah, let them sign. So the focus areas are setting up IT parks and electronic estates, software development, use of technology in education, e-commerce, and expansion of telecom infrastructure in the state. The employment generated is 2.35 lakhs. And I think that's a huge, Gujarat and IT will go a long way. Can I please request everybody with a camera, we have an official camera, they will share the photograph. So we have 113 investment intentions are also received in MSME for investment technology. And whoever is done from IT, can I request you to come on stage? All the companies in IT sector, can you please come on stage for a photo op with the dignitaries? Can we make it fast because she has a real tight schedule, and if we can have a photo op with the minister, please. Chief Minister, please. All the companies in IT sector. Yeah, can we have, can I request the photographers to do a quick click, please? Can we get ready? I think we are, all the dignitaries are being shadowed by the industry. Can we have a proper photo op, please? Thank you, Ms. So the Honorable Chief Minister, Srimati Anandiben Patel, has to make sure that she is part of the other engagements also. A big round of applause for our Chief Minister who has made time to be part of the industry. She's been gracious enough to spend some time. A big round of applause for all the companies who have signed the MOUs and from in IT and biotechnology and have showed their intent and interest in Gujarat.